Hulk Hogan, one of the most iconic and legendary figures in the world of professional wrestling, has died at the age of 71. The news, which came as a shock to millions of fans around the globe, was first reported by TMZ. Confirmation followed soon after from the Clearwater Public Communications Department. According to a statement provided to Extra, personnel from both the Clearwater Fire Department and the Clearwater Police Department responded to an emergency medical call at 9:51 a.m. The call, placed from a residence in Clearwater, Florida, was for a cardiac arrest. The statement further clarified that the 71-year-old man involved was none other than Terry Bollea, globally known as Hulk Hogan. Emergency crews from Clearwater Fire and Rescue arrived on the scene and administered treatment before transporting him via Sunstar to Morton Plant Hospital. Tragically, despite the best efforts of medical professionals, he was pronounced deceased upon arrival. Rumors surrounding Hogan's declining health had circulated for some time, casting a shadow over recent months. Just weeks prior to his death, his much younger wife, Sky, attempted to quash the speculation. She insisted that Hogan was not in a coma as was rumored and affirmed that his heart remained strong despite the medical procedures he had undergone. These procedures included a serious and complex surgery known as a 4-level anterior cervical discectomy and fusion, ACDF. Sky took to social media to explain the intricacies of the operation and the demanding recovery process involved. She described the ordeal in detail, noting that the surgery not only affected Hogan's spine but also had implications for his vocal cords due to the positioning of breathing and eating tubes during the procedure. Sky emphasized that their time had been spent largely in and out of hospitals as he recovered, and she appealed to the public not to give in to panic or melodrama. Her words conveyed hope, resilience, and a sense of unwavering commitment to her husband's health and healing. However, her reassurances proved tragically unfounded. All the speculation about Hogan's worsening condition ultimately turned out to be true. And now the wrestling world mourns the loss of a titan born Terry Gene Bollea on August 11, 1953, in Augusta, Georgia. Hogan's journey to global fame was anything but ordinary. He stepped into the world of professional wrestling in 1977, and, within a few years, he became one of the most celebrated names in the industry. By 1983, he had achieved household name status through his association with the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now known as WWE. With his towering physique, unmistakable mustache, and electric charisma, he embodied a kind of larger-than-life personality that captivated audiences during the height of Reagan-era patriotism. His catchphrases, signature moves, and bold persona turned him into a symbol of American strength and virtue, and his popularity knew no bounds. Hogan's achievements in the ring were monumental. He was the first wrestler to win 2 consecutive Royal Rumble matches, and he held the WWF Championship 5 times. Additionally, he was crowned WCW World Heavyweight Champion on 6 occasions, cementing his place in the pantheon of wrestling greats. Hogan wasn't just a wrestler, he was a cultural phenomenon. His involvement in the Rock and Wrestling connection during the 1980s marked a groundbreaking moment in the crossover between wrestling and mainstream entertainment. Alongside fellow wrestling legend Rowdy Roddy Piper, Hogan helped bring professional wrestling into pop culture consciousness. Collaborations with pop singer Cyndi Lauper and the colorful Captain Lou Albano were instrumental in this transition, creating moments that blurred the lines between sport, entertainment, and music. Hogan's most iconic match, arguably the most watched wrestling match in history, took place against Andre the Giant in 1988. The image of Hogan body-slamming the massive Andre is seared into the memories of countless fans and marked a turning point in the sport's history. In 2005, Hogan was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, an honor recognizing his unparalleled contributions to the sport. Known also by the moniker Hollywood Hogan, he had reinvented himself multiple times throughout his career, adapting to new eras and audiences with remarkable ease. Beyond wrestling, Hogan had a significant presence in other areas of entertainment. He hosted an episode of Saturday Night Live in 1985, further solidifying his mainstream appeal. His foray into film included starring roles in movies such as No Holds Barred, 1989, and he appeared in numerous television shows and commercials. These ventures added layers to his public persona and helped maintain his relevance beyond the squared circle. Despite his status as a beloved and heroic figure to many, Hogan's life was not without controversy. Perhaps the most notorious scandal involved a sex tape that surfaced in 2012, featuring Hogan and the estranged wife of his friend, radio personality Bubba the Love Sponge. The leak of the video and subsequent media circus that followed did tremendous damage to Hogan's reputation. Making matters worse was the release of an audio recording of Hogan making racist comments, which led to a public outcry and his temporary removal from the WWE Hall of Fame. The backlash was swift and severe. For a time, it seemed as though Hogan's legacy might be permanently tarnished. However, he fought back through legal channels, launching a high-profile lawsuit against the news website Gawker for invasion of privacy, emotional distress, and defamation. With the backing of billionaire Peter Thiel, Hogan won the case, receiving a substantial financial settlement that effectively drove Gawker into bankruptcy. The legal victory was seen as a landmark case in privacy rights and celebrity litigation. After a period of estrangement from the WWE, Hogan offered public apologies for his past behavior and worked toward mending his image. By 2018, he had been reinstated into the WWE Hall of Fame, a move that was met with mixed reactions but ultimately signaled a degree of redemption and acceptance. Hogan's personal life was just as complex and widely scrutinized as his professional one. He married Linda Claridge in 1983, and their marriage lasted until 2009. During their time together, they had 2 children, Nick and Brooke, both of whom gained public attention through the VH1 reality show Hogan Knows Best, which aired from 2005 to 2007. The series showcased the family's dynamics and endeared them to fans, although it also exposed cracks in the marriage that eventually led to its dissolution. Following the divorce from Linda, Hogan married Jennifer McDaniel in 2010. However, that relationship too ended in divorce in 2021, bringing more changes and emotional upheaval into his life. At the time of his death, Hogan was married to Sky Daly, a yoga instructor who had become his partner in both life and his final chapter of recovery. Their relationship, though relatively short, appeared to bring him peace and companionship during what would turn out to be his last years. Sky had stood by his side through his health struggles and had been a vocal defender against rumors and speculation about his condition. Her heartfelt messages and social media posts in the weeks leading up to his death painted a picture of a couple deeply committed to one another, facing adversity with unity and courage. Hogan's death marks the end of an era not just in wrestling, but in entertainment history. Few figures have had such a lasting impact across multiple generations and platforms. His influence can be seen in the careers of many wrestlers who followed him, and his larger-than-life persona remains a blueprint for how to build a brand that transcends the confines of the ring. The outpouring of tributes from fans, colleagues, and celebrities alike underscores the profound legacy that Hulk Hogan leaves behind. His passing is a reminder of both the fragility of life and the enduring power of cultural icons. Whether remembered for his triumphs in the ring, his moments of controversy, or his ability to bounce back from personal and public setbacks, Hulk Hogan's story is one of incredible highs, painful lows, and a relentless will to persevere. He is survived by his wife Sky and his 2 children, who now face the difficult task of saying goodbye to a man who was not just a global superstar, but also a father and husband. For millions, he will always be remembered as the man who told them to say their prayers, eat their vitamins, and believe in themselves. Hulk Hogan may have left the world, but his legacy is immortal. Rest in peace, Hulkster.